What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Nemo's podcast. I'm your host, Amar Nemo. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you get a second, please hit that like, subscribe, and comment below after the video. It really means a lot to me. It takes a second, just a quick boom, and that's it. We're done. It really does mean a lot to me. Okay, guys, I just got back a couple weeks ago from watching The Smashing Machine. And like I said in my previous video, I actually already shot this review, but I messed up the whole focus on the camera. Yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, did I like this movie? Did I not like this movie? Let's find out.
Mark Kerr, a man on a mission to be the greatest fighter in the world. Or will all his hopes and dreams come crashing down?
Are you ready?
Yes, The Smashing Machine, rated R.
The Smashing Machine, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Emily Blunt, directed by Benny Safdie. The film tells a true story of an MMA legend, Mark Kerr, nicknamed The Smashing Machine, who rose to the top of his fighting world only to struggle with personal demons, addiction, and the pressures of fame. I personally was expecting a little more of the classic rise to fall, rise again arc, similar to one of my favorite movies, Rocky III. Rocky was on top. His ego got big. He had the family, the cars, he had the belt, he had everything. But he wasn't, humbled anymore. His ego got the best of him, and that's why he got his ass whooped by Mr. T, Clubber Lang. And then he goes, to LA and trains with Apollo. Long story short, he gets his eye of the tiger.
You had that eye of the tiger, man, the edge. And now you got to get it back. And the way to get it back is to go back to the beginning. You know what I mean?
He gets to be humble again. He's hungry, and he beats the crap out of Mr. T, and he gets the belt again. I understand why they did it. They wanted to stick, more to a reality base with Mark Kerr's life, but I really thought, they would at least show when he went to South America and dominated a whole entire competition. That part of his life deserved more screen time. And that's just saying, that's my opinion. As for the performances in this movie, everyone killed it, okay? The Rock killed it, Emily Blunt, Boss Rutan killed it, all around, everyone did a great job. And the director, Benny Safdie, did an incredible job. So many people talk shit about The Rock. He's just playing himself in every movie. Let me see you play yourself or your Rock persona or whatever persona that you have in any movie. Do you know how hard acting is? No, you don't. So shut it. All right. Just saying. He did not have to do this movie. He did it for himself. He wanted to prove to everybody, yo, dude, I'm a real actor. I mean, the FX team on this movie, I pray that they win an Oscar. I hope everyone gets an Oscar in this movie. But seriously, the FX team really deserves one. The way the Rock looked was incredible. He looked like The Rock a little bit, and he looked like Mark Kerr. He looked different, and his voice changed. He wanted to talk like Mark Kerr. Hi guys, I love to smash people, and it's nice. I don't like violence, but I like to do it. To hit people. That's the way his voice was, and I thought what The Rock did with that was incredible. I hope, people really see him for who he is. And who gives a shit about the haters, dude? You got millions and millions of dollars. You got a beautiful family. You got everything in life, Just be happy, brother. Doesn't matter what the haters say. Just keep going.
It was the most challenging journey or undertaking that I've had in my entire career. And I've been lucky. I've been really lucky over the years to have a pretty good career that I'm really grateful for. But the way in which Benny challenged me, and certainly in the way of which Emily challenged me, was unlike anything I had ever experienced. But I wanted it really badly, and I wanted to be challenged in that way, and I really wanted to challenge myself in that way. And as Emily was talking about, we wanted to show these many layers and, as she likes to say, full weather system of human beings. And in their relationship, I think this idea of as real as it gets, that's what we lived every day. So for example, the house that we lived in, Benny built that from scratch on a soundstage with immovable walls, a full house, design, carpet, running water, lights, but he built it from scratch so he can hide the cameras. So whenever we went into these scenes, as you guys know, when you've seen the film, or if you haven't, if you're going to see it tonight, you'll see that, when it's time to kick off and have these incredibly intense, raw fights as a couple, what we've all gone through and what we've all seen in life, it was real. And as Emily said, it left its fingerprints on you. That part was real. And then the fights outside of the ring were real-ish. and but also inside the ring too as well. It was really important to Benny to create an environment where he had this rule: there was no cameras allowed in the ring. And if we were going to get as real as it gets, the cameras were going to be third and fourth seats back. We had to fight your way through the back of people's heads and the ropes and the apron and the turnbuckles. And then on top of that, Benny said to me, I would love to make this movie without ever cutting away from you, which, as you guys know, that means there's no stunt double. I had a stunt double, but for the most part, it was all me, which then meant I'm going to get my ass kicked in the movie, which I did happily. But so it was an incredible undertaking for me, and I feel for all of us too. And you see that.
Now let's talk about Emily Blunt. She is phenomenal. She honestly feels like the new Meryl Streep to me. Every role she takes on, she elevates it every single time. In Sicario, okay, in Devil's Wear Prada, Jungle Cruise with her and The Rock, and that's why their chemistry really worked in this movie. They have such great chemistry. There's a scene when she was taking a picture of, Mark Kerr and the people around him, and that tear that goes down. It was just so good. I don't care if she used like an ice stick, they call it, whatever, or she really did cry. She's capable of anything. She is literally a legend now. Like, seriously, she's not old, obviously, but like, she's going up there. Great actress. Big props to you, Emily. Good job.
I mean, I think what was on display, even in Benny's script, when I read it, was this opportunity for a relationship that would be full of spontaneity, that wouldn't have to be tidy or palatable. And I think that was very exciting, to get to be a part of a relationship that could be as volatile as it was loving. And at times, how they were with each other was sort of nonsensical. It was bonkers, how they'd fluctuate between loving and volcanic. But I think that the toxicity of that relationship and of the deep love that happens sort of in parallel paths felt more true to relationships, and not all relationships. And theirs might be the amplified version of bad behavior that I think we've all got in us, But I think that was really exciting to me and challenging. And then on the day, the environment that Benny created, it was just one of such reality and spontaneity that it was very blurry, the line between reality and fiction. So the scenes would be terribly exciting, so exciting to work with DJ in that way. But they were also, the scenes would leave their fingerprints on you. It was hard to come down from some of those scenes.
Now let's talk about Benny Safdie. Known for good time and uncut gems. I don't take Xanax, but I almost took one watching that movie. And that means it did its job. Like, big props to you and your brother, man, for doing such a great job in that movie. And in this movie, he went solo. His brother did not direct this movie with him. But, man, Benny is such a good director, and I hope I get the chance to work with him one day.
I think an early tagline for the UFC, and when I first met Dwayne, just when it was not the first time, but when we met up, I brought him a stack of VHS tapes of Mark Kerr. He had made these kind of testimonials of how to kind of wrestle and MMA. And so in addition to that, I had the shirt that said "As Real as It Gets." And it just meant everything about the movie had to be as real as possible, to the point where you almost couldn't discern what was real and what wasn't, and it would take on a whole new feeling, and that would be like an understanding of somebody's emotions and feelings. And that was inside the ring and outside the ring. Everything had to feel as real as possible, because we really wanted to put you inside the brain of somebody else and feel their feelings.
If you're into sport dramas or true stories, go check this movie out. And big props to Bas Rutten. Love that guy. He's also another badass in this movie. And he played himself, and he did an incredible job. He's such a great, he was an awesome UFC fighter, Pride fighter. He was really big in Pride before he got to UFC. But this dude is great. He has such great charisma. Like, seriously.
Look what we got here. Smack his face. Now this is a very dangerous weapon right here. This is where they put the receipts on. Boom, right elbow, bang, right straight. Maybe now the headbutt comes. Knee to the face, elbow to the groin. Grab him. Look, sir, I really don't want anything of this. And I go whoop, like this, and I slit your throat, and it's over and out. Bang, right elbow, boom, left straight. Kick to the head, boom, bang, 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 boom. Stab his own knife here in the liver. Drop, boom, boom. I'm sorry, bang, bang, bang. No, I'm not. Bang, bang, bang. Don't you ever do this.
Overall, this movie was solid. It didn't quite hit the high notes I was hoping for in terms of showing Mark Kerr's full career arc, but it still delivered an emotional, powerful movie. Okay, guys, I'm going to rate this movie. I'm going to rate this movie as a 6.8 out of 10. And like I say, this is my opinion. You don't have to agree with me, but let me know in the comment section. Let's talk about it, all right? Take care. Peace.